It's the Seahawks and the Lions on Monday night.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Seahawks set to go on offense here, and it is the Pro Bowler Geno Smith at quarterback, Charles, in his 12th NFL season.
That was a solid performance last week.
So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The numbers for Sanders last week: 15 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so you know his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
Another run here with Sanders. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game. And, gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder, in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we'll just get them out of the way early so we can make a late season push and want everyone back.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Up the middle they go with Sanders. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Running right, here's Sanders. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect that offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone. The offense set to take the field here as they have the football in the final minute of this first quarter. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries.
Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now Sanders. Oh, good move. Oh, breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. He may go. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him. He will. Downfield and find pay dirt.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. A 40-yard punt, no return. And this offense will take over right at the Detroit offense, ready to begin their drive. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
They'll go again with Sanders. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Jerome Baker crashing downhill and getting the stop. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. A nice little juke. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And his big night continues on that last run. The yardage there going to move him over 100 yards now for the ball game. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 111 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. The Lions at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
That's good for 28 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15...
And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Lions are able to widen their advantage. Well, fair to say they've got something. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of can't.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So his big first half continues. His third touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance. With a little over 2 minutes to play in the second quarter, the offense gets ready to take over. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Here comes Sanders on the toss right. Able to avoid him at the 40. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. St. Brown in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. This is Sanders. And fights through one man. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the third quarter. Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now a carry for Sanders. Nifty move. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 231 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. They'll run. It's Sanders. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Sanders. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10. Here's Sanders. Wiggles free. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Sanders. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
Bates' kick is good. And the lead now 11, 24-13. Well, they picked up right where they left. Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give them 19 there as the drive marches forward. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Play action. It's Goff. That pass caught. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Again, Goff. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Goff now looks to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Sanders. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Another run with Sanders. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
No gain on the play. Leads to 3rd and 11.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders.
Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. 61 yards.
And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all into the end zone.
Well, their defense did the job. They got the turnover on downs. Now what can the offense do as they take possession? They'll run on first down. Sanders. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right of the yard. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Sanders. Oh, felt like that move deserved more than he got there. A gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
On 3rd down, it's Sanders. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great effort there. 26 yards.
And the Lions are able to add on to that lead. So it's a high 5 for that one. His 5th rushing touchdown of the game as he draws ever nearer to potentially making a run at an NFL record.
So this offense will head back out there, already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. On first down, Sanders. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running it.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Lions have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. And that now 6 rushing touchdowns for him. And that ties him with Alvin Kamara, who on Christmas Day of 2020 also. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and take it.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for Detroit, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And our focus is on the Lions' versatile running back. He should be a busy man out of the backfield. It's the Lions and the Cowboys. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
As the sun starts to set, we're going to see how much light is left by the end of this early evening game here on the NFL on EA Sports. Well, we are in store for a great game today, everyone. Kate Scott and Brock Huard, along for the ride in this one. We love these kind of games, Brock, and that's because we got a pair of teams who both gotten off to good starts this season. They find themselves with winning records as we now work our way through the front half of this schedule.
Yeah, you know, we try to be pros, and every game, right, is a big game, but when you have teams that have gotten up to these...
First and 10 now from the 30. They'll go from the gun with Sanders. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. It was Osa Odighizuwa in on the tackle. These guys have gotten off to a hot start, Brock, in spite of these injuries that have occurred along the way.
You know what, Kate? If you and I traveled to every training camp, I think we'd hear the same thing. Next man up, next man up. These teams know it. The players know it. You hear the talk, but then you got to walk it, and this team is. I know it's early, but this is looking like a group who could be built for a playoff run as long as this list doesn't grow too much longer.
And they had that one contained right at the line. It was Osa Odighizuwa in on the tackle. They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Goff back to throw. Into traffic, complete. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Boy, they sure found the right net slant. It goes for big yardage.
Handoff here to Sanders. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Juke the defender. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Pickup of 6, and now they've got 3rd and 7. Here's Goff. And he's brought down after a short gain. Pushing the pace right away to start the game. Fourth down, Goff throwing. Forced out to his right. And they get to him on 4th down. It's a sack. First and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw, Goff. It's taken in by Williams. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that gives the Lions the first. On the give, it's Sanders. We'll have him gain about a handful there. That was Michael Parsons making that play. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
Here's Sanders once more. Breaks the tackle, still going. And finally, they're able to bring him to the ground. He manages a gain of 8 there. And that'll be first down, Detroit. Out of the shotgun, Goff. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. They're set up at the 35 now. Goff on 1st and 10. Throw complete to Williams. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that gives the Lions the first. Sanders on the shotgun handoff. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. They go play action with Goff. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. This, our last play of the quarter. Goff on 3rd. And that is how our first quarter will end as that pass falls incomplete. On 4th down, the Lions going to try to put 3 on the board here with Jake Bates. This from 35 yards away. Bates' kick is up and good. And that'll get him back to 11. First and 10 now from the 30. Goff setting to throw. Gets this to Sanders. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Goff getting his guys to the line quick. Back to pass on 1st and 10. That's complete to Sam Laporta. And they make the tackle at the 38. Upping the tempo with some hurry-up offense. On 1st down, it's Goff. Finds his man, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. Trying the inside handoff to Sanders. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. They're working quickly here. Going to the ground again on 1st. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. The tackle made by Mazi Smith. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine. And that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost, and he busts those tackles.
And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first. They go right back to Sanders. And he's brought down for a loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you can be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down. Now Goff. Chased out to his right. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Trayvon Diggs has got it. And the Cowboys get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
Oh, coaches just love that effort right there. Instantly, as he made the pick, everybody was looking for a block and doing their...
This is Sanders headed left. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Hey, 76! 76! 76! Hold on. Check.
Goff working from the pistol. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
It's tipped away, and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down. The Lions readying for the punt. And he gets him 1 as we've come up to the 2-minute warning. First and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Goff. He finds Laporta. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Tackle made by Trayvon Diggs. Shotgun snap here to Goff. He finds Sanders. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Goff now, 3rd and long. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Trayvon Diggs has got it. And he makes the Heffs go. It's a touchdown on the pick 6. First down throw from Goff. A quick slant. Here's Laporta. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. Everybody rushing back to the line. He's got Khalif Raymond. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
It's a gain of 25 yards. And the Lions...
Goff to the air now. Gets it quickly to St. Brown. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Lions.
And they send a man in motion. Throwing again, it's Goff. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So it's 2nd down coming up.
He's counting his lucky stars. That one isn't headed the other way right now. That is not the time to challenge double coverage.
To throw again here, 2nd and 10, it's Goff. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Here he is on 3rd and long. And that's incomplete. He's going to wish he hung on to that pick there, but it's still going to bring up 4th down. Jake Bates out for the Lions field goal try. Already has 1 in this game, this from 30. Bates' kick is up, and... they're out and set, 1st and 10. Goff. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Off play action, Goff. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
38 yards on the play. And the Lions...
They'll motion a tight end left. First down from the red zone. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete.
You know, a couple of my favorite nicknames, Kate, over the last decade in football. The Legion of Boom, obviously, out in Seattle. But how about the no-fly zone that was cooking in Denver? That right there, that is a no-fly zone. Trying to make the play in the end zone in a beautiful...
Offense up to the line fast. Goff now on third down. And the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. First and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Gone. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Here's Goff. And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. Third down coming up.
You hear defensive coaches on every practice field we're on preach not giving up the big play, especially at the NFL level. They'll need to stay vigilant because they're definitely going to use that receiver to take the lid off this defense again.
Intended target there was Sam Laporta. And that brings up 4th and long. They'll send out the punting unit. And this will be his second effort of the contest. And some textbook work covering that punt. First and 10 now from the 30. Sanders running dead ahead. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. They go play action with Goff. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the middle. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
St. Brown's got it, complete. So after that completion, we've got a player in some visible discomfort. And here come the trainers to get him some help. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Laporta with the grab. Oh, he trucked that defender. And he's going to take this in. Touchdown, Detroit! The Lions putting up points in a game decided. It's a... And the drive will start out with a first and 10. Taken in by Williams outright. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
First down, Lions.
Throwing off the play fake here. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. And they're going to be down close to the 35 as he goes out. That one goes for 31 yards and a first down when all is said and done. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Goff on first and 10. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. Goff getting his guys to the line quick. Still sticking with the passing game. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Offense working quickly. Trying again following the sack. And that's nearly intercepted, but couldn't hang on. Just a harmless incompletion. It's third down.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, he just couldn't quite hang on.
3rd and long for him here. Gets this to Sanders. Jukes one defender, and he's out of bounds, a little short of the 10. Well, 3rd and 15, you don't see many of those picked up, partner, but they found a way. A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Into traffic, complete. And in for the Detroit touchdown. Well, Brock, this one has... Good field position for the Lions here as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap here to Goff. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Hurry up offense now as time runs down. Another try following the sack. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
Well, that's a major missed opportunity for the offense and a sigh of relief for the defense. Now you got to adjust a little bit, get some extra help on the back end of your defense to take those shots away.
Completed over the middle. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Now the Lions calling a timeout. It's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. They need a lot here, but still going forward on 4th and 15. They'll go for it. Goff. To the sideline, and it is incomplete. Short of the line to gain. Wouldn't have mattered anyway on... And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win.
It's week 7 of the National Football League, and our focus is on the Lions' superstar running back. He's the NFL's ultimate red zone back and your leader in rushing touchdowns. It's the Lions and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Vikings offense making their way out behind their former number 3 overall pick, who spent his last year as a 49er. It's Sam Darnold.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Darnold looking to start with a pass.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
And Charles, we see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back on the field in a hurry.
Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and age myself, but I'm going to ask you, when you were in high school and there were injuries, did you hear next man up from your coaches?
Well, you hear it every week now in the NFL, that's for sure.
You know, back when I played when dinosaurs roamed the earth, you didn't hear next man up. You heard, oh, no, we've got to put in Davis.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now Sanders. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. And out come the Lions for their first drive behind their 9th-year quarterback in year number 4 with Detroit. It's Jared Goff.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did. But he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and a yard.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
The Lions at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. They were losers their last time out, trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Here's Goff.
That's into the hands of Khalif Raymond.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Here's Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
The Lions offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And he has been a monster in the red zone here in these first couple of months of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. We're down to the 41. Yeah, look at this defense for the Vikings.
They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
This defense for the Vikings very strong in that victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Sanders.
And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
In motion goes Raymond. Sanders again, and this time he'll score. Touchdown, Lions. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0.
They start on the ground here at Sanders.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Another run here with Sanders.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Here is 3rd and 5. Now it's gone. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. They're now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
Oh, the ball comes out on the hip, but they'll see it's incomplete. Here's Jack Fox now. And the fair catch is made at about the... And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Here's Goff. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
In motion goes Raymond. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Throw caught by Raymond. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. A shotgun snap for Goff. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football. He's taken down. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A gain of 12. 1st down, Lions.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here comes Sanders on the toss right. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll go again with Sanders.
And he'll get it inside the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
Running right, here's Sanders. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Play action, it's Goff.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Goff. Oh, he stays up, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A give running left, it's Sanders. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
113 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the 3rd quarter. Second half will start with a run by Sanders.
And he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Off play action. Here's Goff. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They can now afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
Now a fair catch signaled for and made. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down.
You know when I could tell this is going to end really badly? When he launched himself behind the line and made a beeline for the ball carrier. You get one of those tackling machines in the middle on your trail, things are normally ending pretty quickly.
Another run with Sanders. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Gone. Flushed out right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football to places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4th.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard off. Third quarter action, and this offense will have a 1st and 10 as they get set for the next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
120 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
He's airing it out for Williams. That's caught it. Williams loses the football. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
They'll run with Sanders. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Once again with Sanders. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Goff on 3rd and goal. Buying time to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Going for it with Sanders. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Late stages of the game here in the 4th quarter as this offense takes over 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And now they're in the hurry up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Goff and his guys not coming off the field. They're going for this. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here. We are in the 4th and final quarter as the offense will have the football starting this drive 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Another run here with Sanders.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
And they're going to speed things up here. Goff now looks to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st down is right.
Now a carry for Sanders. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 131 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2nd down and 6 now from the 42. Here's Sanders. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Partner, so much for situational football because that's the absolute last thing you want to do when you're protecting a lead in the fourth quarter. Not only do you lose yardage, but you find a way to go out of bounds and stop the clock.
On third down, they turn to Sanders, and he gets this early to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17. Late stages of the game here in the fourth quarter as this offense takes over 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Goff now to throw. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
3rd down and 1. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw is Goff. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
Now Sanders dancing away at the 35. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll go again with Sanders. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made. They'll run with Sanders. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. A 15-point game now. You may Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Running right, here's Sanders. They'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. 3rd and 8.
They'll run. It's Sanders. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for the
It's week 8 of the NFL, and all eyes are on Jared Goff. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Lions and the Titans.
And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Now 3rd down and 7. And here, Charles, is a look at the inactive, some of the guys that are out today due to injury.
Yeah, and this is where the preseason work comes into play for some of those backups. It's not just them getting some experience on the field, but preparing each week in practice as if they were going to play. And when you have guys like that on your team, you've got a chance for success when the injury bug hits.
They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get it? We drop you in now to first quarter action as the offense begins this drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
Another run with Sanders. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
You talk about this Titan defense.
And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Fast footwork by Sanders. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. The offense set to take the field here as they have the football in the final minute of this first quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.